This is a cheap sports car, and this is David. Put them together and you get my depreciated Porsche. This is the new top that was sent to us from Auto Tops Direct. I'll have all that information in the footer and article that I'm going to write about this. So this is the new top. It is quieter. Now it is actually more noticeably quieter than I thought it would be. It is 3 decibels quieter. And if you notice, if you can see behind me, the glass window now is very clear. And the plastic window I had before, there was a line down the middle where it was all scraped up, and of course it was starting to crack, and it was just difficult to see through. Now the clarity's there. It is smaller, although it isn't too noticeable because you've already got a bunch of stuff back there kind of blocking your view on the Boxster, so it isn't a big noticeable difference in that. The sound, as I said, it sounds kind of weird in a way once you put the top on, because you didn't realize, or at least I didn't realize, how much noise was coming through on the old top, because all of a sudden I heard the engine a little bit more. I could hear the exhaust a little bit more. It's just cutting down some of that wind noise, and it's not silent by any stretch of the imagination. Once you get it up to speed, it makes a bit of a noise. We're going to get up here in a second and get on the freeway and see how it does on there. Now, one thing that I've noticed is if you do this yourself, you do want to make sure you stretch it correctly. You don't want to overstretch it and you don't want to understretch it. You want to make sure that it needs to be pretty tight on there, but you want to make sure both corners in the front are stretched. I'm pretty happy with it. This top, it's good quality material. The window is definitely nice, and I haven't washed it yet because of putting the sealant on, and we're only allowed to use water 2 days a week outside because of the drought here in California. So and you know, you're trying to do stuff, and I can go to a place where you recycle the water and might end up doing that, but I want to be really gentle the first few times with getting it wet, just because it's brand new. Want to make sure it's broken in correctly and not overdo it. But here we are, almost up to speed on the freeway, and yeah, there is very noticeably less wind noise. There was a lot of wind noise before, and it's not as bad. And you know, you've done an okay job when the top itself hasn't come off. That was one of my fears with doing it myself, is that the top would start raising and the wind would get up under there. And we're driving at 65-ish right now on the freeway. It's about as fast as legally I'm able to drive. There's a couple stretches here where I can drive 70, but if it can handle a speed like that, then I think it's a good quality for just everyday driving. I haven't tried, I'm not sure if I'm gonna try it on the track or anything like that. I don't usually track my own car, only because I've been flown from different auto manufacturers to drive their cars on the track, and once you get a taste of someone else providing the fuel, the tires, and the car, and the track, and helmet, everything, it's hard to go back to where you have to buy all that yourself. So it's just, I may take this on the track one day, but I don't know how the top would do for sure on that, just because I haven't tested it. It should do as well as the original top, as long as it's put on correctly, but I haven't tested it, so I can't say one way or the other. But on an everyday drive, which is probably what most people that do this are going to be doing, it seems to be all the information on it. There are others that make similar products. The only reason is I reached out to a few companies, and Autotops Direct got back to me and said, yeah, we'd love for you to check this out. We think it's a good quality, and I think, yeah, they've got a pretty good part. And now, like I said before, maybe not be for everyone to install it. Now you know how it's done, and if you want to do it yourself, you can save a decent amount of money. But if you get a professional install, then you know it's all going to be done perfectly. And professional install, if you're going to take it on the track, you might want that to happen because they have price slightly better glues and such than what you're going to be using. But you'd have to be going pretty fast, and in an early Boxster, you're probably not going to be doing much over 100. So depending on the track, you probably get maybe 110 out of it. So, having said that, unless you swap in that 3.4 liter 911 engine, then all bets are off. But anyways, overall, yeah, I'm happy with it. I love the clarity. I love that I can see through the window. Like, I'm just waiting because of the new weather stripping glue. Wanted to make sure it was fully cured and on there before starting to get everything wet. You might check, I noticed the back little portion at the very bottom of the convertible top, when it goes up and down, there was one of the cords I forgot to attach, so I did have to loosen it slightly. I did not open the top because you're not supposed to open it for 7 days, but it did move back slightly, and I reached down and fixed that. And I did notice that the weather stripping seemed to be kind of coming off there a little bit, so I probably need to put more weather stripping glue to make sure it's on all the way. And I think there's a couple little areas that look like it didn't put enough, so you just want to make sure you put enough of that so that the weather stripping, when you're opening and closing the top, isn't coming off. And you don't want that coming off because you want a nice good seal. You don't want to flood your back of your car with too much water. So anyways, if you're thinking of doing this, as you see, it can be done by yourself at home, and you don't need really too many. You don't really need a bunch of extra tools that you probably don't already have. And the end result is a brand new top with a window that's glass, so your clarity is much better. And once we get some cold weather, which won't be for a couple months, but once we get some cold weather, I'm looking forward to seeing how that rear window defroster works, because now I've got that, and the old one has some button here, but I believe that's for the window or the side mirrors, and it did nothing. So definitely didn't. The back window would get foggy a bit, and you just had to deal with it. So I'm looking forward to having that feature. And yeah, it's a great top, and I recommend that. It's a good upgrade if you've got a Boxster and you'd want to keep it for a bit, and keep it looking nice. And even if you were going to sell it, but your old top is ratty, the investment will probably get you, if not a little bit more cash, you'll probably at least have a one-up on other early Boxsters when you're selling. Because if I'm shopping around and I see everyone, let's say everyone at 97 to 99 Boxster, they all have yellowed or cracked rear windows. If you have a glass one, you can have that as a selling point, and a lot of people will either pay slightly more. You might not be able to recoup all your costs, but you will be able to sell it faster. You might be able to recoup a decent amount of the cost, though. You might be able to ask the $500 for it more for that the top cost you, and then if you did the labor yourself, as long as it looks decent, you could end up making it, at least breaking even, with being able to sell it for slightly more, because people will come and see it and they'll be like, wow, that looks a lot nicer than all the others that I've seen, because their tops are yellow or cracking what you've done, and you know, share videos or pictures. We'll be happy to see those, and maybe we'll do some other videos on this topic again, where if you guys show us what you've done, maybe we'll, you know, see what your experience is and share that, so that people get a good idea of how easy is this to do, and you know what all's involved, because it is an involved process. I mean, I shot the video over 3 days. Got a good start on Friday. On Saturday, as you'll be able to, you can tell I changed clothes. On Saturday, I got the majority of the top done, and then a couple hours on Sunday finished it up, and it's probably about 8 to 10 hours that you need to give yourself. And if you give yourself the 3 days of a weekend, that'll do it, because you can't take the entire weekend. And yeah, if you get over a weekend, you can put in the new top and you'll end up with something really good. But you do have to make sure you have the time, and taking your time is the biggest thing. There are a couple times when things may not line up like you want them to, and you'll feel a little rushed. And if you do that, if you are rushed, it won't turn out as good. You just have to take your time, and if things aren't going well, feel free to go inside, get a drink, have probably not alcoholic, because you want to make sure that you're thinking clearly, but go get, you know, a water or soda or something like that, and refresh yourself, take a little breather, and then go back out. And sometimes just doing that, things will all of a sudden line up. Also, make sure you know where you put stuff. There was a bracket that goes under the window I put on my rearview mirror, or my flip down sun visor, and I was looking everywhere for it, thought I lost it. I left the garage open for a little bit. I thought, well, did someone come in and steal that? That would be a weird thing for them to steal, because I had left my camera and my computer out there. And turns out I just set it on this visor, and because it's black and because the piece was black, I walked by and didn't see it at all. And so my 7-year-old came out and said, "Is this what you're looking for, Daddy?" And that was it. So sometimes, you know, having someone else help you if you lost something, they can sometimes see things right away that you're not seeing. And going in and taking a break is another way. Sometimes you'll all of a sudden see something that you didn't know that you saw. I would like to say that having this top is just a nice little added feature to owning this car. So go out, and if you are in the market, go check out Auto Tops Direct for this top. Like I said, they just provided me with the top. There's no money or anything, no advertising involved. I just wanted to see how their top went on, and now you got a good idea. And yeah, that's what I would do. I'd go get a top with a glass window and good quality top. That's what you want to make sure.